So today I'm going to be telling you guys about how I chose my major. I start school this upcoming fall, and when I was applying to schools, picking a major was definitely something that I struggled immensely with. So I'm just here to tell you guys the process I went through and where I am at now. I've always been somebody who's like really anxious, like thinking about my future and stuff, and I'm very indecisive all at the same time. So it's like, I was constantly always thinking about what I wanted to do. So backtrack to ninth grade when I entered high school. My school had a magnet program. So basically you have different specialties like health professions, business, like IT, and some other things. And I applied to be in the business program, so that is what I was focused on from ninth grade to 11th grade. I had this vision in my head. I was like, okay, I can see myself, being a business lady and doing all this and all that. So that's where my heart was at for a while. And even though I took accounting, I took marketing, I took business. Out of all of those, I do believe accounting was probably the one that I would feel most comfortable majoring in. But my accounting class, it was not my accounting class. I don't know what happened, but I was more so focused on just getting a good grade in the class, to the point where I wasn't even really learning anything in the class. I was kind of just like swimming my way through, just like swimming by, making my way, and I wasn't really learning or like trying to understand the concepts of accounting. I was more so focused on the grade. And also my teacher was also not the best. She was very strict, and she really just made me feel anxious. She caused me to have a lot of anxiety when it came to like accounting and working with numbers. So towards the end of 11th grade, that's when I took my last accounting class. I was like, okay, I cannot do this in the future. It causes me too much stress and anxiety. I don't understand it and all this and all that. So I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna do business anymore. I just decided that. So what am I gonna do now? In school, science has never really been like my strong suit. I don't know if it was me or the teachers. I tend to blame a lot of things on the teachers, but honestly I don't think I was a very sciencey person. And like my parents always wanted me to like go into the health field. My mom wanted me to be a pharmacist, and so I looked into becoming a pharmacist. And it just, I don't know, I feel like the field is very like saturated, involves a lot of science. Another thing I don't want to do, the amount of schooling you have to do and the debt you have to take on. I didn't think it was worth it for me in the long run, so pharmacy was out. I do like the idea of helping people. That is something I want to do in my life, is help people. So I was definitely looking into becoming a nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioners have a lot of the same responsibilities as doctors, and I know that requires a lot of science at the same time, but I don't know, the idea of becoming a nurse practitioner was just a lot more appealing to me. I did a lot of research, and I did research to the point where I didn't like look too deep into it, to the point where I would find something bad that I didn't like. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to school for nursing. So the summer as I was when I was applying for schools my senior year, I was applying to nursing schools. Schools was looking at their nursing programs, and I was so set on it. I was like 100% confident in everything, and I thought I was good. But no. One of my friends who also is interested in nursing, she told me about nursing and like what it really entails, like the clinicals and stuff. Like the path it takes to become a nurse practitioner is a rough one. You have to deal with people, you have to touch people, deal with their bodily fluids, and I was just like, that's kind of gross. I don't know if this is something I can really do. I know it's like, how did you not know this? I told you guys, like, I researched this up until the point where I didn't want to find out things that would turn me away from the career, because when I research and I find out the bad and the good, and a lot of the times the bad outweighs the good for me, and it just turns me away. So she told me about all the things nurses have to do, all the gross things, and I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. But I had already applied to all my schools based off of nursing programs, so I was like, dang, like, what am I gonna do now? I don't want to become an accountant. I don't want to become pharmacist. I don't want to become a nurse. So what am I going to do now? Okay, this is where things get a little bit weird. This was like December 2020, December 2019, and I was looking into different career paths and stuff, and I realized that one thing I'm really good at, well, not good at, but like I'm not bad, it's like working with technology. I think that's pretty interesting. It's a field that I never really looked into because, like, I don't know, there's like I just couldn't see myself in the tech world. I saw that as like a guy's field, but it's really not. So I was like, okay, let me look into, you know, technology and stuff. And what I found was the idea of becoming a software engineer or software developer sounded pretty freaking cool to me. Like, that sounded really cool to me. So my brother, he's a computer science major as well. So he was like, okay, do it. I was like, okay. He was like, you know, start learning now. So I was like, okay. So I took a course online, a little computer science course, and I did enjoy it. But at the same time, I'm not sure if, I don't even know what really threw me off. I think it's not easy. It does get challenging, but it is pretty interesting. I really did like it, and I liked it to the point where I haven't even received my acceptance letters yet, and I was already emailing these schools to ask if I could switch my major because I really thought I wanted to do it. And I honestly regret doing that because I do think it affected my admissions. Like, changing your major before you're accepted, I do think that's risky. I would not advise you to do that. But yeah, I was so set on it, but I looked deeper into it, and I really don't know what put me off. Like, the thing that really put me off, I don't know. Like, I think the continuous learning aspect to it, I don't know if I could see myself doing something like that for a living. Thinking about it now, computer science is definitely something that I still think about, but I don't know, at the time I was just like, okay, I don't see myself doing this for a long period of time, so I'm just gonna step away. But I was still interested in technology. I really still like the idea of like web development, software developing. I want to create an app one day, but you know, I don't know, something about computer science just, I said I can't do this for a living, so I said let's move on. What did I move on to, you're probably wondering. I realized that a college degree is not, you know, it's not something I need to be stressing so much about. It's not the dictator of my life. You know, my goal is to be financially free at some point in my life, so I had to start thinking beyond a degree. So I've definitely been looking into ways to make money outside of a career, like a straight up career with a degree, and I realized that my degree is just part of the equation, so I wanted to pick something that would benefit me. So I started thinking again back to accounting because I realized I didn't give it a fair enough chance. I was stressed out with all my other classes. I couldn't even give the class my full attention. My teacher was just very, very harsh. It really messed me up mentally, and it just made me associate negativity with accounting, which I don't think is fair. Accounting gives me a good financial basis to do other things related to business on the side. It gives me a good financial intelligence, a good background with numbers, and that's really important when you want to be financially free. So what I decided to do is I decided to go for accounting. Now, I asked my schools if I could switch to computer. I started off as a nursing major, and then I asked if I could switch to computer science, and then I had to ask if I could switch to accounting. Keep in mind, I did all this before I was even accepted into my schools. Some schools make it harder to switch. I learned that the hard way. And yeah, so as of now, I'm entering my freshman fall semester as a pre-accounting student. I do plan on double majoring in accounting and information systems because, like I said earlier, I do think the technology is very interesting to me. I don't just want to like forget about that, you know. I did find enjoyment in like the computer science courses that I took, so I I would major in computer science, but I feel like computer science is already a pretty tedious career. It's a tedious degree to get, let alone to double major with. So I think information systems pairs well with accounting. So I do think that is where I'm going as of now. Keep in mind that can easily change. I've changed my major 3 times, and I'm not even I haven't even started classes yet, so we will see what happens. But yeah, if you're like me, if you're like an upcoming senior and you have no idea what you want to do, my advice would be to just like relax. Most college students change their major, apply to schools that have a wide variety of majors, so that if you decide to change your mind, you have options to choose from. 3, just think about what you want in life. Like, what do you value? You know, do you value the money? Do you value work-life balance? Do you value knowledge? Like, it really depends on what you want out of life, but don't stress about it now. You're literally only like 17, 18. Like, you have time, even if it doesn't feel like it. I know time is moving so quickly, but you have time to like really think about this. So yeah, chat with me in the comments and let me know what your situation is, and I would love to chat with you and have a conversation and hopefully help you make this decision. I definitely wish I had somebody who could have helped me make my decision, but you know, what's done is done. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will talk to you guys next time. So yeah.